The caves where the Arana hillmen have been taking refuge after their home was sacked by orcs is in complete chaos right now. Another tribe of hillmen, possibly, with garments that are adorned with feathers of some sort, have suddenly broken in through the roof of the cave and are pouring down the walls, using all of the ridges and walkways that the Arana had built, and just basically attacking anything they can find. And our players have, of course, gotten themselves thrown into the middle of the fray, and they'd been making headway on the ground floor of the cave when suddenly they spy a familiar figure from their recent past, the assassin wearing gray wraps with a bow. And when we last left them, she had fired an arrow directly into the ground in front of a group of these characters. Who was fighting on the ground? It was...
Carve
and Carve was down there.
Yeah, so Andane, Carve, Pineleaf, and you were with Fuel. So at your ground, there's one of these short, red-fletched arrows sticking out of the ground, maybe shaking slightly for dramatic effect. And at that signal, there's a new wave of just more of these feathered guys. Some of them are carrying torches in addition to their weapons now. What's your first reaction?
Ah!
Just silent, pensive thoughtfulness.
So they've for sure spotted the ground group and are attacking us actively.
You can make a culture soldier check, maybe a tactics check, or an insight check to see if you can determine that from how the new wave is behaving.
Okay.
You just see a bunch of new soldiers entering the fray.
Alright, well I look up at the lady who shot the bow and I shout out, "Hey lassie, you nearly hit me with that one!" And at the same time, I use my Guardian skill Sentinel. By spending 1 power, I can ask a question from the GM that says, what is really going on here and what should I be on the lookout for?
Roll a successful perception check first.
Where is my character sheet's missing? Corvette, where are you at, lad? Oh, there you are.
Perception would be wits.
Wits. Gotta keep my wits about me. Wits.
Alright. So what was your question again? Sorry.
What is really going on here? Does it look like we're about to be swarmed by a whole bunch of troops, or are they trying to kill anybody in particular? Are they targeting anyone? I mean, what's about to happen here?
Yeah, so, at first glance, it's hard to tell that, whether the soldiers themselves are targeting you in particular or not, because they would have a ways to go to get to you anyway. So they still have to go down all of these ramps and walkways and ridges in order to get to the ground floor where you are. But when you called out to the mysterious assassin woman, that's when she sort of seemed to look down and notice you. So she seems not to have noticed you before, but she certainly does now.
Way to go, Carve!
Good job, Carve.
This second wave of soldiers, it seems it would have come regardless of whether you in particular had been noticed or not.
As they come, are they doing anything to the other hillmen? Can we see what the status of the camp is as they come?
Yeah, sure. So the ground floor is kind of, I actually want to, we'll roll later to just sort of aggregate what's going on for the ground floor since you've been participating in that. On the walls, there's just, basically any of the Arana hillmen who hasn't taken refuge in one of the deeper pockets of the cave has either been killed or has fled to the bottom of the floor. The first wave of soldiers, after sort of doing their business, some of them are staying behind to rifle through things and loot, but the majority of them just kept coming down to the floor. The second wave, some of the people who do have torches, they're starting to actually light some of the hides on fire. They're trying to destroy the tents and the homes that have been crafted.
So they're clearly not friends. So
I think we established that last time.
I'm pretty sure we did. So I'm going to... How long would it take me to run up and to the nearest enemy? Give or take. Within a turn?
Yeah, sure, whatever turn is. Yeah, a couple seconds.
Okay, I'm going to attack the closest enemy.
Okay. So, actually, could I get like a combat check from everyone, whatever your preferred method of combat is? Basically, so we'll say that an ending you can roll again after hearing this, but basically, so like a 7 to 9 will, or a 7 will be 0, 8 and up will be a +1, 6 and below will be -1. We'll add the totals together. If it's positive, you basically tell me how you clear the ground floor of enemies. If it's negative, then we'll keep doing this battle. If it's 0, then we'll do a roll to see what the hillmen do, if they stand their ground or not. But it's looking like, yeah. So tell me, you tell me, how does the ground floor level look? Like, have you just been killing enemies? Have you been capturing any of them? Were there any?
Well, of course, Anding stealthily kills many of them. And I'm guessing Sarissa probably takes at least one to talk to.
I'm actually not out there.
Sarissa's not actually.
If Sarissa were out here, then I'm guessing that would take...
All right, so how is the flow of the battle going according to our roles in that system? I didn't quite catch what you said, Jim.
Okay, so when I had you roll, 8 and up would be +1. It would be +1 towards the total. 6 and below would be -1. 7 would be 0. So the total, adding this all together, would be 1, which is positive. So I'm letting you just tell me.
And then roll twice. I think we're even.
The first one doesn't count.
I was told to.
Well, if I'm reading this correctly, then we're even. We're at a 0. And assuming that Sarissa's not even there, then we might.
Well, no. All of you as players roll, but
okay.
Sarissa, the character, is not there.
Okay, well then she swung the vote.
Yeah.
So I think we kill almost everybody, but we keep somebody alive to try to figure out what the heck's going on. But they're injured, so they can't like run off.
Okay. Are they still like conscious or something?
They're still conscious.
Okay. Are you setting a guard on them, or are you personally leaving it to them, and you're gonna send hillmen to start clearing like the walls and things? That now that the ground floor has been cleared of enemies, that's where the battle is taking place.
I'm personally talking to this guy, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Give me a fate check to see if he speaks your language.
Feels around here somewhere, isn't he? We were staying with him. He's got to be around here somewhere. So it shouldn't matter. Trying to find Fate. There's
top pitch. Sorry, yeah.
Feels like right around the corner. It's fine.
Wait, we were following him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We still see him on the floor anywhere?
Oh, okay. Fuel. Let's roll for Fuel to see if, because if you recall from last time, Fuel's pretty bloodthirsty right now. Yeah. So it's possible that he just continued going. So I guess. Let's see, you want him to stay and talk. So we'll say on a 10 or higher, we'll just say that he stayed with you. 7 to 9, you can persuade him to say. 6 and below, he just he leaves you, just immediately keeps fighting.
Okay.
Okay, so you can ask him to stay. He probably he cuts down like the last one in whatever group he was dealing with. If this was like the TV show, there probably would have been some like complicated action sequence of him taking out like 5 enemies in like 1 or 2 motions. And so he finishes that, and then he points at the walls, and he's like, "My friends, the battle continues on the walls."
Yeah, but we need to figure out what is going on. Let's talk to this guy. He might give us some insight so that we can do stuff better.
Well, Ending's chatting with Phil about this inside guy. I'm looking up along the walls, and I'm especially looking to see if anybody's heading over towards the tents where I assume the women and children are hiding.
So most of the women, children, elderly who were getting out are in the main tent, Shannon Biana's tent on the ground floor. That's where Sarissa currently is. If there is anyone on the walls, like I said earlier, they're either far deep where they're hiding where they can't be found, and you'd have to go there and look for them, or they're already dead.
Well, it seems like we've got the floor under cover. I'm going to go ahead and make my way over towards the tent and set my ward on the tent to make sure that the women and children are safe.
Okay. Andang, go ahead and roll Persuade. Fuel isn't immediately... Okay, yeah, so, Fuel... At first he starts, he utters a string of curses. He's like, I do not understand, why do you... There is still fighting to be done. I don't want to have to talk right now. But then, I guess, after... how persistent are you?
I'll bring in a therapist and tell him how much money he would save on therapy by coming and talking now at the battle instead of later and things like that. Really trying to persuade him.
Okay. I mean, you persuaded him. I just wanted to know how. Because I do not know what this therapy is, but okay. But make it quick.
Okay, ask them why they're here.
Okay. You hear him ask in his language, and there's it goes on for quite a while, and there's some harsh tones in there, and you figure he's probably adding some of his own flavor to this question. But the guy sort of spits over in his direction and just says a really short phrase. But Fuel actually seems to be pretty scared by. He pales slightly, and then he turns back to you they have been sent from one of the other tribes. They are here to kill us all. An ages-old feud, it would seem.
Well, glad we got that sorted. Let's go ahead.
I apparently wasn't there to hear that.
I'm going to go ahead and relieve this guy of his misery, and we'll continue along.
Please, may I do it?
Sure, yeah. You stayed around. It'll help with your therapy.
I still do not know what this therapy is, but I think that I like it. And so he grabs his giant ceremonial sword and he just sort of holds it over the person. I guess you have him propped up against the wall or something.
Yeah, he probably.
Okay, and Fuel just says something in his language, and there's a weak protest from the other person, but yeah, he just drives his sword down through the heart, and then with his boot plants it on his chest and pulls it out. Doesn't even wipe it off, and looks back at the rest of you and says, "Okay, can we go kill more of them now?"
Yeah, buddy. Let's go do that.
It is funny though. I did not know they wore feathers now. Strange fashion. But a lot can change.
I like how that's what he pulls from that entire experience was the feathers.
So I mean,
helps us identify him at least.
Are you going with him to?
We gotta keep the translator alive. I'm pretty sure that it's required. That's my goal, is to keep this guy alive. So.
Sure. Pineleaf, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
So Andang has captured someone that Fuel has just killed. Were you with them when that happened? Carve has gone running off. Back to the tent.
And let's see, and Sarissa's not around, you said?
No, Sarissa's...
No, Sarissa's with the people in the tent.
But you don't even know that probably since she was stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I disappeared.
Right, in which case I'm probably with Andang then.
Okay.
Trying to make sure that no one does anything weird, and of course Andang does something weird anyway. And as far as I can tell,
doing weird stuff. Andang does plenty of stuff that's weird. There's no stopping that.
Yeah, but there's levels, and Pineleaf makes sure that it doesn't go above a certain point.
we can't take weirdness up to 11.
Yeah.
We can on 2d6. Oh!
Yeah. Should add that as a trait. Everyone roll for weirdness now.
I got this.
All right. I actually want to cut over to May. Are you here?
I am here.
Okay. So yeah, your character has, I guess, been left at like the mouth of the cave or something. So in lore, we'll say you've just sort of been.
I went into an elf trance.
Oh, okay. What did you like? What did you give me? What's a good skill or just something to roll? We'll see if you gained anything from this elf trance.
So what am I rolling?
Give me an insight check.
Insight. Oh, I found insight. Awesome. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. So while you were in your elf trance, I guess let me think. So yeah, so I guess you sort of entered this trance. Did you enter this trance voluntarily, or did it maybe just like be triggered by something, maybe seeing the battle happen, or did it come upon you suddenly as you were walking through the tunnel?
It was involuntary. It was. It just kind of came on me.
Okay, was this when you got to the battle, or before the others reached the mouth of the cave?
I think it was before the others reached the mouth of the cave. And the interesting part, it was about the sea. I was back at the sea again.
Okay. Was there like, set up the scene and then I'll give you some piece of information.
Well, I mean, OOC, I don't know where I left off. So, I mean, as far as I know, I was walking into a wall. So, anyway, back into character.
Yeah.
So yeah, so as the rest of them were getting to the mouth of the cave, it was kind of like I just kind of blanked, and what came up before me was basically being back home by the sea at the Grey Havens. Singing. There was nobody talking to me. It was just basically I was just there. It was like being kind of back home, I guess, singing and just kind of like an everyday, an everyday at the Grey Havens. There was no.
The TV show.
There was no Maya coming up out of the water at me. There was no Mando saying anything to me. Kierdan didn't say anything to me. I mean, it was
Right.
really odd.
It was a very abnormal day in the Grey Havens.
Abnormal, but yeah, maybe I'm homesick.
Yeah.
After telling you that my face had been set toward Middle Earth, now suddenly I have this vision of being back home again. So I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a part of me that's sort of missing my
Okay.
people,
And I think maybe
especially on the eve of battle.
Yeah, like I think that's sort of like on the eve of battle. I think that the song that you're singing is maybe like maybe a song about the War of the Last Alliance. Is that something? That's not something you would have seen, right? That would have been
No, but I
relayed to
would have known. No, but I would have learned. Yeah,
Oh,
I would
yeah,
have learned the
definitely.
lore, and I would have learned the music for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's maybe like a song just maybe recounting just at like a high level of what happened, and like the moral of the song or the story is about like the lives of men are short, and compared to the lives of elves, and about like the gift of Eru Iluvatar that was given to the younger children. Yeah, and then I think. Let's see. So how do you leave the trance? Is it like a gradual thing, or does it just sort of end and snap you back in the world?
It fades. It fades medium fast.
Okay.
So it's not like suddenly I'm out of it, but it's also not like this gradual thing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost kind of like how you would come awake in the morning, And at first, I'm not sure quite where I am.
Yeah. So I think it's like
But
the,
it
like the
doesn't take
last
me.
note of the song about the War of the Last Alliance is just sort of like ringing out, and as that note fades, so does like the image of the
Right.
sea just sort of like one by one disappears, and suddenly you're back at the mouth of this cave watching an actual battle take place in front of you. And you know, fortunately, it looks like the good guys, or at least the people that your friends are on, they seem to be succeeding on the lower levels. So you
Good.
see that Carve is running back towards the now deserted village. He seems to be running towards the main tent. Meanwhile, a lot of the guards are choosing different ramps and fighting their way up the walls. And you see Carve, no, sorry, not Carve, Andang, Pineleaf, and Fuel sort of charging in one direction. What do you do? There's a bunch of guys wearing feathers that seem to be they seem to be the bad guys. Some of them have torches. A lot of them just have two hand axes.
My urge is to follow behind Carve and Andang at a safe distance. My mind is on healing, and I'm concerned that I may be needed.
Okay. Pineleaf and Andang.
Oh, Pineleaf and Andang. Okay, whoever it was that was running, that's who I'm going after.
I could
Okay.
use some heals
Sure.
You could use some
from
heals.
last time. Yep.
So I think as you start running over towards them, maybe you happen to like look down and see the body of one of the dead men, and you recognize it as Gale, one of Fion's friends that you encountered in the ruins.
Oh no.
Yeah, he died swinging. Definitely, his club is still in his hand. There's like an expression of rage frozen on his face. But yeah, it looks like there were just too many people that he was trying to take at once. He's been all sliced up.
That makes me very sad. But I can't stop because the battle is still in motion, right? We cannot stop. Take a leaf out of a recent battle I was in. So I'm tracking Pineleaf and Andang with my elf eyes and wanting to keep so Andang needs Andang needs healing, right?
Yes, please help.
So, gosh, I can't. It's been so long since I healed anybody.
I think that was
So I
before
would
the
like
new mechanics
to.
even. So
I would like to roll to heal Andang.
Sure.
If that's all right with you, GM.
Like what kind of healing are you
How
doing?
am I don't remember
think
how
this
I
is
do
a
that.
physical wound.
I'm guessing it's just a song of morale
It's
increasing.
a singing.
Yeah.
It's either singing or a musical instrument, right? It's my performance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even storytelling
okay.
if you want to. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to sing actually to
Alright.
to heal him. Okay. Oh, attributes, wits. Oh, it's asking me for attribute, wits, heart, or fate.
Is it still asking for that? Go ahead and do
Yeah.
heart.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I think I removed that check
Ooh.
from the other skills, but not from like the crafting language before.
Not performance. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, there it
So
is.
I think, yeah, so I think maybe like you start singing, and I think all Andang hears from that is just like your voice, and just like recognizes that you're now with them.
Oh, okay. That's
So I'm
not
guessing
really
I just
useful, but okay.
interpret her singing as just normal elf speech, and just what I hear elves as.
Yeah,
What was I
maybe
did during
it was-
Elfin?
Yeah, maybe May, you were singing like that song that you were playing about the War of the
That I
Last
was- yeah.
Alliance.
Right.
But that, of
right.
course, was in Elvish, and Andang just doesn't get
So
what
it
you're laying down.
It didn't do a whole lot for Andang then, huh? I'll have to go to Sarissa. Sarissa needs to teach me some human songs. Sarissa teaches me all about minstrels, so I'm gonna go get. I'll make a note. Note to self.
I'm trying to think what kind of songs Sarissa knows.
There was in a Mariel body songs probably.
But yeah, body song.
Okay.
So sorry, Andang, I didn't really help a lot there, but I got your back.
At least you're here. That's good.
So, Sarissa, I guess we'll cut to you inside the main tent where all of the non-fighters are taking refuge, and Carve comes to the main flap opening.
Oh, how goes the fighting?
We've cleared out the bottom floor, and it looks like they're taking the fight to the walls. I'm just checking to make sure everybody's here. And then I'm going to position myself between them and you as I work my way up.
You sound funny. What's up with you?
He sounds like Braveheart.
It's a battle lust.
Did you catch something?
Yeah. I caught a helmet across the back of my axe.
So someone, I guess, stands up in the room, and so no one else would know, but we, the audience, recognize this as Avween, Clabber's mother. And she says in common speech, what accent did I use for her? Did I use an accent? Oh, well. We hired a new voice actor for this session.
It was how many weeks ago? Nobody's going to remember.
And she says, the lower levels are cleared? Then we can take this opportunity to flee now while we may. Perhaps go back to our old home. And the Shannon kind of looks disapprovingly in her direction and says, that is a decision that the council was supposed to have come to, and you are not on the council. But clearly she's very tired and distraught. Still, you have a point. That may be our best action right now. And she looks at you, Sarissa, since you've been sort of her consolation through this. Tell me, Sarissa, what do you think should be done?
At this point, I interrupt, and hearing what's going on, I say, "You don't understand. They are here to kill you." Now, of course, if I'm Russian, they're here to kill you. Sneaking away may or may not prolong it, but you need to protect yourselves. And with that, I close the tent flap and I rush out, looking for any possible means that the bad guys might come down towards his tent.
That's totally right, Gray. Shrek has joined the show for sure.
Okay. It's like Sarissa. What? So Carva said his piece and is leaving. What do you do?
Well, Carvet is more versed in the ways of battle than I am, so I'm going to default to his judgment for now. However, should the opportunity present itself to escape, it's probably not a bad idea.
I do wish he had stuck around and we could ask if it would be safe to go to our homes and gather our belongings, at least in preparation.
That's probably not safe.
Yeah, you want to leave time for the burglar, other person to inspect your homes first before you go back.
No, come on, these people don't have anything. I already checked.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, basic survival skill stuff,
I'm pretty well aware of how much stuff these people don't have.
What they have is stuff that'll enable them to get out into the wild and not get frozen. Trinkets of sentimental value, even if they're not value to you.
Of course, I don't know that going to their old home is an option either.
Their old home is the ruins.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that that's an option either, because the last time we were there, it was overrun by orcs.
So, what's your final recommendation to?
For now, we should probably wait. If there's time to recover belongings, we will maybe try and get that done.
You're good at sneaking around, aren't you?
I've been known to be successful at it a couple of times.
Yes. Do you think you could go, maybe look around outside? See if it would be okay for us to gather the essentials. I think it's time we went home.
don't think going home is a good option. But sure, I'll go take a look.
Thank you. So you leave the tent. We'll cut back to our action heroes. Carve, do you catch up with the other group? Is that your intent, or are you just going?
My intent is to put myself between the oncoming wave and the tent of people. So if they went left and there's people coming down a different ramp to the right, then I'm putting myself between where the tent is and where the wave is coming.
Okay, I mean, so the wave is so far that for now it's been like the guards are also going up the other ramps.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the situation on the ground where if you wanted to join a group and fight, you could. Now you can pick a ramp and join the fight as well. There's plenty of war going on at the moment.
Where's the leader of all this mess? She's still up behind several groups?
Yeah, so she hasn't. She's still up at the top. She's she's helping out with her bow and arrow, but she's the only one with a bow and arrow. Right
So is she not really moved much?
No.
What a noob.
Do any of you have anything that could be used together?
I will then join whichever group of guards is closest and try to keep parallel to Andang and Pine Leaf as they find their way up into the ramps.
So you're deliberately choosing one that's closer and not their group. You want to split up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I'm not trusting anybody I see.
So I guess we'll cut to Pine Leaf, Andang, and Fuel for a moment. Just as you're sort of running up the ramp to get to the action, Fuel is remarking to you what the prisoner / executed victim had said, and he explains these men, this other tribe, they are called the Lozga tribe, and I think they enjoyed helping Angmar in the war too much. Even after the fighting, they still lived in the shadows of Angmar, and they seem to have fallen into worship of the Witch King even after he disappeared all those years ago. They believed that the other tribes betrayed Angmar when we decided to part ways, but could they really have been planning all this time to come hunting us? Do any of you react?
That really sounds more like a rhetorical question, so I'm just going to let that one go.
Okay. If you don't have any input, then I guess he asks that and it goes unanswered because you reach the first group. So there's there's 3 people here that sort of dispatched the guards that were coming to stop them. There's one of the first wave is there, but then there's 2 of the second wave. They're fresh, they're eager. And so, yeah, so 2 of these guys are sort of like the shock troopers that you've been facing previously with the double hand axe and the really fluid motion. The third one is actually carrying a torch, and he's brandishing that primarily. His hand axe is, I guess, for closer quarters fighting. So, do you start swinging? Who swings first?
Well, I know Pineleaf from his skirmishing background will go after the torchbearer first, so I'm going to pick another target.
Only if there's an end to defend, though.
So I'm going to go for another target. Either one's fine, but there we go.
Ooh, okay. So I think he actually, with that, he actually gets like the first move. So like maybe like you come to attack with like one axe, he like parries your sword. You have a sword, right?
Yeah.
Or two swords.
2 swords.
So he like parries him out of the way, catches him in the hook of his axe, and he starts swinging with the other one after that's out of the way. So go ahead and give me acrobatics or athletics to see if you can move. Okay. So he nicks you a little bit, but you're able to move most out of the way. Go ahead and take 4 points of morale damage.
Oh man. Alright, May, need heals.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, May.
My healing. I think I'll try
I
something
hope so.
different.
I hope you
I think I'll try a little. I think I'll try a little musical instrumentation here.
Sure.
Oh well,
That's good. That's good.
that's helpful.
And then give yourself 2 points back.
Is
Or
this
actually,
an
May,
AoE?
what's your harp modifier?
What's my what?
Give you 3 points back.
Alright.
I didn't add the modifier.
All right, good.
So, okay, Pine Leaf, you want to do something?
Well, first off, any chance that was an AoE heal?
Yeah, I mean you're within audio range, so take 3 points too.
Am I in range of that too?
Alright, 3 points.
Since he's singing into the cavern, it means echoing, right?
Because I'm so powerful. Yes.
Minis
Absolutely.
are OP. Real minis, that
This is
is.
setting a
I
precedent.
don't think Carve gets it. I think Pine Leaf and Andang.
Alright, so who's closest to me? The torchbearer?
Just to address, I guess Carve asks, what's the possibility of heals failing? If it's actually not inspiring, maybe they're more focused on the battle than on hearing the song, or maybe like previously it falls on they hear it but they don't recognize it as inspiring and so don't get a morale boost from it. Or possibly even they hear it and it's distracting and they don't like it. That could also be a possibility. So Pine Leaf, back to you.
Alright. So the nearest one is the one with the torch?
He probably wouldn't be the one. Actually, yeah, he would be the one rushing. So yeah, he's probably the closest one, aside from Andang moving.
Alright then, let's go after him. Let's see, how far is he away?
You can have like stopped further back to have him within your ranged range if you'd like.
Okay, then I'll start with a... Okay, but he sees me, so...
I mean, or if you want to get up close in person.
I will throw my first javelin right at him.
Okay. Nice. So yeah, like it probably like catches him like right in the leg or something, and you know, he's definitely very wounded. But he's still standing, and he just seems even more like angry. Let's see what he does actually. Ooh, okay, yeah. So he actually, if there are any children watching this, he actually takes the torch and just lights himself on fire.
Oh no!
And then like wrenches out or like breaks off the javelin and starts running at you, Pine Leaf. So you can give me a dexterity, acrobatics, or athletics check to see how you
Okay.
handle this.
Acrobatics, or... Let's see, we're good. Oh, that's right down here. Acrobatics or athletics?
Yeah, whichever one.
Or did you say I could do it off of agility straight?
Or agility, yeah, sorry. We don't have dexterity in this game. Okay, yeah. So I think as he comes running at you, just screaming something in his language, you just sidestep him, and he just like he like runs past, maybe slips, falls off of the ledge, and just he's burning on the ground now. He's out of the fight. So yeah, like the two other soldiers seem completely unfazed by this. And so they're still fighting. One of them takes a swing at Fjol, who just takes the hit. He probably just doesn't care. He's furious, and he'll swing back. Okay, yeah, and like he probably he exchanges blows with this guy. So Fjol gets cut, and the unnamed assailant gets cut, because we don't give our enemies names. So yeah, they're both pretty injured right now. Who wants to go? Who wants to do something?
That was the nearest group of guards near me. How are they faring?
Okay, yes, I guess so. Yeah, we'll cut over to Fjol. We'll see how many guards. So there are 3 guards in sort of the group that you're coming upon, and there are 4 enemies. So with you joining, that makes it a fair fight, I guess.
Alright, well, whichever enemy seems to be flanking the 3 guards, I run up and I strike him.
So all of these 4 are actually like the torch wielders.
It's a good thing I have a shield.
Singed
Yeah.
beards coming along.
So I guess you block the torch with your shield and just hack at him, and yeah, he falls back injured, not dead. How can I? Okay, so. 2 of the one of the guards, I guess he sees your action, and he's emboldened by it, and he goes to attack, and he's just like backhanded by one of the hand axes, and he like falls against the wall of the cliff. He's not dead, but he's pretty injured. The other 2, I guess, seeing that, they get angry, and so they just rush a couple of the guys, and they each just land solid blows with their clubs. And so they're like each of their targets are, I guess, kind of stunned. But all 4 of them are still blocking the path. Card, what do you want to do?
Is the guy that I took down out of commission, or is he just wounded?
He's wounded.
Well, let's finish him off and go on to the next guy.
Okay. Yeah. How do you kill this guy?
Pretty straightforward. Axe to the neck,
All right.
and then bring my shield back up to attack the next guy with a torch.
Okay. Yeah. So give me a. What do I do? Do I make you dual wield for shields?
No. It's just part of my armor. I just happen to use it to block any extra torches or whatnot.
Then we'll see if higher than your armor, which he does. Okay, so it's not so he doesn't like break your shield or anything, but he evades your shield. This is the guy who had attacked the other guard. I guess he sees his friend go down and just lets out a cry of rage. And actually, you know what? I take it back. He sets himself on fire too and comes running towards you.
What is
So go ahead.
They're setting themselves on fire? Oh my god.
They're in suicide death pact going on.
Acrobatics, athletics, or agility.
Alright.
Okay, yeah. So I guess like similar to what happens with Pine Leaf, or maybe you put your shield up as he's running, and I guess like his head butts into the shield. Yeah, and just falls back.
Comes
And then
back,
maybe there's like like
to the side, and he goes, "Ah!"
there's like a small ember on your shield that you blow out. That's just for flavor. It doesn't affect your armor.
As he bounces off my shield and he falls off the edge of the cliff, I hear him go, "Ah!"
And
Was
he
it
didn't
like
Thor's down to the people below.
Okay, so cutting back to Pineleaf, Andang, Fuel. So with you, there's everyone. So the torch bearer is off the cliff and out of commission, and you have 2 wounded assailants.
All right, so I will. Let's see how. I will then go after the nearest assailant with a melee attack.
Okay.
And that would be. Oh, what is the. Fine. Okay, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. How do you kill this guy?
How do I kill him?
Yep.
Ooh. Well, it's not going to involve taking a torch and burning him, that's for sure.
For one, you don't have a torch.
Well, in any case, I would say most likely I will be going.
So, I mean, first of all, do you kill this guy, or are you just taking him out of commission?
Oh, it's just taking. Oh, am I trying to do my best to kill him, or am I trying my best to take him out of commission?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, right now, I don't care too much which happens. As long as he doesn't come around attacking other people, I don't care whether or not he survives the attack.
Okay. What do you want to do to him?
That's cold, Pineleaf.
Stab him! I gotta.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if you're stabbing him in such a way that he's not gonna hurt anyone. Okay. Yeah,
I'm not going to knock him on the head. I'm not using staff tactics with my spear, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. So you just stab him in the side or something?
Yeah.
Okay, and he falls down, and he falls out of camera. We don't know if he's dead or not, but he's not attacking anyone.
Okay.
Andang, you want to take a shot at the last guy?
Yeah, I'm taking a shot at the last guy, and I already rolled.
Oh, that was. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess he. I guess you attack, but he's just filled with rage at what's happened to his friend over here. For all he knows, his friend is dead. And so, yeah, I guess, swings out and does, another, he blocks it with one and then takes a shot at you with the other. And he only deals you one point of damage.
He's so mad he can't even aim.
Yeah, so I guess Fiol will probably just see that happen and then take a shot. Yeah, and he just... It's sort of like combination of him just slicing through the guy and just the force of his two-handed sword just, cuts into him and pushes him off the ledge. Maybe like a Darth Maul effect.
I really hope there's a great Elven Limerick just getting ready to come and be amazing.
Matt, you could also use your medicine skill if you'd like.
We need my medicine skill? I didn't know I had a medicine skill.
Everybody does. Yeah.
Okay, and that's a good skill, actually. Okay, here I go. You ready, guys? Brace yourselves.
Yeah. Okay. So you have time to bandage wounds or whatever. So Pineleaf and Andang, if you're there, you can take 6 points back.
Yes.
Up to your maximum.
Awesome.
That feels great.
Yeah.
Yay!
I feel good. Do. That's not very elf-like of me. Sorry.
I'm sure it sounds better in Elvish.
Oh, that would be great.
I just meant it was.
I want to hear that now.
Brag like that. I know, I do too. It's like, let's have somebody do that in Quenya or something.
Oh, in the Silmarillion film project, you could totally have Tom Cruise doing the Elven song.
Yeah.
That's what the song about the kinslaying sounds like.
Oh! Too soon. Too soon.
I hate elves. Carve. Speaking of elves, so you have two just out of it guys. You know, they've each taken a cudgel blow to the head. You know, probably like on their knees or something in front of you, as well as one
Guys
injured.
these are the attackers, or these are the guards I'm helping?
Oh, these are the attackers. The guards, like one of them is, I guess, like, you know, he's fallen back against the cliff face. The other two are the ones who just bopped these guys on the head, are standing over them.
Okay, well, I'm looking to clear the path, and so if they're not dead or off the path, and they're not done.
Actually, I take it back. It's just these two people. The third guy set himself on fire. And,
Okay, he went down. So we got two guys left that are still threatening, and then how many guards that are still standing? I think one of them took a hit, and the other
one of them took a hit. He's not dead yet, and the other two they're hale and hearty and ready for action.
All right. Well, since I have a sword and a shield, I'm going after the next guy because he's already wounded. Whether he's stunned or not, I don't care. Just
sure, yeah.
Take an axe to his forehead.
I mean, if that's the case, you don't even need to roll. He's not going to do anything to get out of the way. So
He's dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Well, then, as I whack the one guy, smash the other guy in the neck with the shield, break his spine, then I say, "Come on!" and I rally the two other guys that aren't messed up, and we charge up into the next group.
So one of them probably actually turns to his friend who's wounded and like exchanges something in their language, and then tears like some of the hide off and like wraps up the wound. The other guy is kind of like he's in shock at he just like killed these two people right in front of him, but this is war, I guess, and so they come with you. So do we want to have more of these breakout sessions, or do we want to see at a high level how this fight goes? I mean, actually, so Ending's asking in our chat, do you see Carve at all? Are you looking for him?
Not particularly.
Okay, because since you're off the ground, you could look at each of the other paths up, and you'd have line of sight. It's not everyone on the same level fighting. You only make out backs and heads and stuff.
Right.
So
Okay.
whether you can see, if you're looking for Carve, whether or not you can see him, I guess would be depending on what he's doing, or if he wants to be seen. So do we want to keep having these breakout combat sessions go on, or do we want to aggregate the fight again?
I think we can aggravate it again.
Oh, I'm aggravated. I'm furious.
Okay. So yeah, everyone.
I'm gonna go check houses.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Check.
All right. Well, if
we'll cut back to
we're
Spurs.
aggregating. Are we aggregating?
Is everyone on board with that?
Are we turning the tide of battle?
Okay. Before we do that, we'll go back to Sarissa. I'll take that roll when it comes up. It's a good roll. But you exit the tent and you see that there's bodies littering the floor of the cave, in little patches where the fighting had been taking place. But that's all beyond the camp. The camp itself is still it seems protected. Protected in that no one is actively attacking it. There's no one actually standing guard anymore. Everyone just seems to be up on the walls facing this new wave. So if you look around, you can probably, as you leave, you probably look in one direction and you see you see Fuel sword bat this guy off the side, and they're getting ready to press on. If you look in the other way, you see Carve just wreck these two guys who were on the floor.
I'm also looking up.
How up? What are you looking for?
Up, because we've been surprised before by stuff coming down on top of us.
Yeah. So there's gaping holes there, and there's the chunks of rock. Those are still outside the cave. The mirror we
that
saw has been smashed.
person that I hadn't seen previously still there?
Oh yeah, you definitely see the assassin still up there just taking shots. Yeah, if you don't do anything to attract attention, she's not going to notice you. Her attention is on where the fighting is.
Right.
So as long as you don't like kill someone and shield bash someone else, you mean?
Or, call up to her and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, so is there a path clear to where so-called necessities are going to be?
Yeah, like the houses that are not houses, but like the tents and shelters that were on the lower level are freely accessible to you.
Are any of them still standing, not on fire, not trampled?
Yeah, so far none of the like while there was fighting on the ground, there was a guard on this area.
Okay.
And like the torch people haven't, like the guards and the rest of the party are pretty much keeping them at bay. No one's made it to the ground floor yet.
Well, then I'm going to see if I can surreptitiously make my way in that direction and gather some things.
Sure.
With the air quotes, gather some things.
So when you say gather some things, you mean gather some things for yourself as well as for the others?
Whatever might be handy.
Okay, give me a fate check. So,
I'm not
if you find
expecting
anything.
Classic Sarissa. She's out looting in the middle of the battle.
Yeah. So I mean, like as you expect everything you find, and maybe it's because you expect it. That's what you find. Everything's just like like Carve mentioned. There's some trinkets that might have sentimental value. Otherwise, it's like pots and pans and.
I'm not collecting pots and pans and sentimental value. I'm going to collect some essentials for roughly the number of women and children that are gathered in the tent.
So you can find provisions that were like on racks to dry. There's some of the stale
stuff that's not going to weigh us down.
half rotted food. So what exactly are you looking for then?
Like light stuff that we can carry provision-wise. So some blankets. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of time to be putting stuff together, and I don't want to weigh everybody down, because that's going to make them move slower.
Okay. So you can find it and put it into your magical inventory that takes no. That doesn't take up space or weight. But
She's
can
a lot of
apparently
turbine
be
points. It's fine.
So after that, you bring everything back to the tent. Do you take multiple trips, or?
Is it going to require multiple trips? Probably going to require multiple trips, huh?
I mean, to get enough for everyone, yeah.
Yeah. But I won't take it all in the tent each time. I'm going to, surreptitiously stockpile it in a spot that I can kind of bring it all in.
Okay. You're creating your own little ranger caches.
Yeah.
Alright.
I hate that quest.
Okay, note to self, we're going to make Anding look for these.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So all of you give me your combat check or whatever
I
you
don't have a
use.
combat check.
I mean, so give me your stealth check.
I did. You said you were going to take that roll into account later.
Yeah, I mean, so that was no one noticing you leaving the tent and noticing that it wasn't a deserted area anymore. Exactly the same roll.
I'm up my stealth after this, because do you realize how many times I've rolled stealth?
Well, we have to get to a place where we can all calm down and consider what we've learned and do all that kind of stuff.
If only there was a town where you could have done that.
Yeah.
May. Actually, it doesn't matter. It's going to be... Or actually, it does matter. May, can you give me one of your performance skills, or?
Okay. Well, since I did so well with instrument. Oh. Well,
Okay.
A little bit out of tune this time, I guess.
Yeah. So as the tide of war progresses, after about 40 minutes. It's pretty much stalemated. You've advanced and they're advancing, but then at some point it's just like you'll keep falling back and then taking them by surprise and then pushing forward, but then they gain the upper hand. Are there any like notable moments that anyone wants to have?
There was one moment where Andang was extremely stealthy for like a second, and then he tripped on something, and then he became out of stealth again.
Okay. And then Fuel probably looks over. He's like, "Watch your step. This is dangerous enough." Carve. And each of you, as you're moving forward, like the guards that you're helping, they're pretty much becoming like your squads on that thing. So if you wanted to, you're passing by like homes and stuff, so maybe like some of them are also like checking for survivors or things like that. Let's see if you find anyone actually on that note. If there are any survivors, they're probably like they would be on one of the paths that neither of you are on. Carve. What do you do with your carved log splitter and the fighting?
the fighting hillmen.
Yeah.
We're continuing to hold our own as we go up the hill. We're doing our best to engage the enemy and push them back, hold them back, ray back. Rah, rah, rah. Except more like Rukazad, you know how that works. They don't understand what I'm yelling, but I'm very enthusiastic about it. Beard just flailing, spittle being formed in my mouth. I'm really dwarven pissed right now.
So you're showing no mercy, taking no quarter.
Oh yes, there's no quarter.
Okay.
I'm all about dwarven territory at this point, even though it's technically not my territory. It's no holds barred for me right now.
Carve, give me an intimidate check.
Intimidate? Okie dokie.
Okay. Despite all that, maybe because they're so hardened, or maybe because they're taller than you, they feel bigger than you. like they see this ball of fury, but it's not causing anyone to turn and run. But you're still doing, that's if they're not running, they're dying.
They haven't admitted.
So I guess maybe
what died?
Eventually, at some point, like you make it to the top. It just so happens, what a coincidence that like the paths that you're taking, they lead up to like this main ledge where the assassin has been picking targets. When you get there, she's not there anymore, but there's like a really he's like bare chested. He has like the tattoos. He's just carrying 2 torches, and he just has like bright red beard, bright red hair, and he's like wearing feathers like at his waist, almost like a belt over his like lower leggings.
What happened to Carve?
Oh, that's not me. I've still got my armor on. I'm not that crazy yet.
Yet. Note the yet.
Yeah. So he like waves his torches around, and there's, let me see. Sorry. Do a roll. Okay. He only has 2 bodyguards. But they're this new brand of troop that has like an axe and a torch as well. And there's like there's a path leading up to the hole where everyone has sort of where they somehow blasted a way in, and that's where they've been coming from. Nobody is currently like pouring through the hole. It would appear that the battle has everyone who was joining from that wave. Like I said, the assassin is nowhere to be seen. It's just this guy, and so he shouts at you all in his language. No one understands it.
Super intimidating
except
when
for your
have no clue
helmet.
what you're talking about.
Hmm?
It's super intimidating when your enemies have no clue what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like the other hillmen just sort of like fall back. Actually, they do understand what he's saying. Fuel, I guess, like turns to one of you, maybe all of you, just looking at like a. This man is the leader. I don't know what voice I was doing. This man is the leader of the troops who were attacking our home. He just called us a plague to be exterminated, and it was his goal to exterminate all of the different tribes. There is no way that he leaves this place alive. Can you promise me that?
As long as we got Carve here, I'll promise.
I yell out, and I slip my bow off my shoulders, and I shoot it at him.
Ooh, okay. Nice. It like lodges squarely in his shoulder. Like maybe like one of like the tattoos going up actually forms like a bullseye, and you just nail it right in the bullseye.
All right.
And so yeah, he like falters back, staggers back.
That is your answer.
Yeah. And so he actually, you know, like he sets a torch to himself. But unlike everyone else who just sort of burned, with him it's really like the tattoos that you can see. Those are like what catch fire, and the fire stays limited to those. And then like, you know, like with his other hand, he like reaches behind and pulls off like
I throw.
a short double-sided axe from his belt. Sorry, Pilot, go ahead.
I throw. As soon as I see anything funny happen, a javelin is going to be flinging from my hand.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Seem to be laggy right now.
Okay.
It looks like it missed.
Yeah. So it's probably like you did that as he like set himself on fire and drew his axe, and he just like swatted your javelin out of the air with like the flat of the axe. So like it's on the ground for you to retrieve later, but it didn't hit him.
Ending pulls up his ranger bow and fires it like a pro.
And he probably deflects it away with like the backhand of his axe. His two bodyguards are, I guess, going like one in each direction.
Do we still have our flanking squads?
The only hillman on your side is Fuel right now. Like whatever he said, Fuel clearly hasn't told you everything. Why no one else is?
Gotcha. They all ran for the hills.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that they ran for the hills. They want no part in this fight.
Hmm.
So you know they're like the ring hanging back, watching the fight happen.
I yell over at Fuel and I say, "Rally your men! This is us or them. We must fight for our lives." And then I shoot my bow at the other guy. Now, actually, I shoot at the big guy again. I'm leading by example.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so you do it and you probably like catch him in the other shoulder and like, you know, he just roars. He's not having any of this. But you know, like as you do that, Fuel like shouts back, and like we as the audience might get the subtitles like are you gonna let this dwarf have all the fun? and like as he says that, like, you know, he's just shouting, like he like swings his sword around. He's running and getting within melee range. Ooh, okay. But he, you know, as he swings, just like the heat from the fire coming off of this guy, you know, like he falters back, and like, you know, like his sword hand, his grip on his sword is starting to get too hot. So, like he swings, but he just misses by a wide margin. And so I guess at that, we'll see what you'd like to do while I find out what happens.
Shoot him!
May, let's inspire some of these other people. Let's get this going.
Am I supposed to do something?
What do you want to
Sing a
do?
song?
Sure.
May I sing a song? Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell a story.
So are you doing this to like boost the confidence of your side or to demoralize the other side? Like, what kind of story are you telling?
I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to demoralize the other side.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be easier to help boost our side since they're more likely to know our language?
Hey! Listen, Hobbit!
There once was a hillman who ate figs, whose face was uglier than 100 pigs. He lit himself on fire. Turned out he was a liar. And now he sleeps with
I
more
should
pigs.
do that. I should come up with some elf limericks.
So like, what story were you trying to tell at least?
Of the glories of our side. In other words, of, you know, times when we've prevailed. We being the good people of Middle Earth. No specifics.
Oh, not your party, just.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just the fact that we are on the side of right and that, you know, we're
Okay.
going to beat their butts, basically.
Okay, so I guess like you're doing this in common, I'm assuming, or
Right.
Westron.
Right.
So yeah, so to your surprise, like the main guy actually like looks at you and replies in common, and says, Westron, sorry, and says, "You are on the side of right, and yet you support these oath breakers. Help me rid Middle Earth from this scum." And as he does that, he like chucks
Okay.
the other torch into like the crowd, like the spectators, quote unquote. But they've already started surging forward, and they're like one of the bodyguards has gone down from like just being overpowered by the forces. Probably the ones on Carv's side. I feel like they're the ones who probably have a little bit more bloodlust in them, just from everything that's gone down. So like there's one on Andang, Pineleaf, May, and Fjol's side that is just being like is fending off the Arana Hillmen.
So Oathbreakers lights up a huge red flag for Andang since he's been around Rangers and all this other stuff. And so Andang is trying to have a conversation with Boss Man Fire Dude now. And Andang's saying, "Excuse me, what do you mean by Oathbreakers?"
A long time ago,
Shoot him
before.
again. Hold on.
Okay, he gets to finish his piece first, but then you hit him.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, before any of us were born, centuries ago, the tribes, what are they called? The tribes of the Krei, we swore an oath to the king of Angmar to aid him in a war against the people in the south, this kingdom of arrogant knuckleheads who built buildings out of stone and tried to enslave our people. But then, at the very end, they disbanded and decided to go scurrying off to wherever holes they were hiding. Now we're gonna come through and smoke them all out. We've already done it to one of them, and these are next.
Yeah, I think that's an oath you can break, everybody. We're all good. We're all good.
I've already shot him again.
Yeah.
He's got 3 arrows sticking out of his chest
Yeah.
at this point. I've got to get close to piercing something by now.
Yeah. So I mean, like he's not wearing armor. This is just like his skin. But I mean, if you consider that if it's skin that he's able to set himself on fire and still have this conversation, he's got pretty thick skin. So yeah, I mean, like he's taking these arrows probably after this third one, he's like he falters back and then just like out of frustration he just like cleaves them off and pulls out another axe. So he too has 2 axes, and he's on fire. And he probably runs at you, Carve. What do you do?
He's running at me, and he's significantly taller than me, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, then, as I charge him, I aim low with my shield, and then I try to vault him over the top of my head so that he goes tumbling over like the big overgrown oaf he is.
Okay.
And I'll roll a mic check for that, since I'm going to smash into his
Yeah.
legs and toss him over the top of me.
Sure. Okay. I think like you check him, but you don't get to complete like the tossing maneuver. But yeah, like you stop his charge. Like you throw him back instead of over you. So like he like springs up and he chucks one of his axes at you. Missing. I guess like as he's being thrown back, he throws the axe, but that disrupts his aim. Plus, he's probably aiming for he's used to aiming for a taller opponent, so it goes over your head wide.
Can't shoot things while you're moving unless you're in that one hunter line, buddy. Everybody knows that. Come on.
So he actually threw his axe, right?
Yeah, so he only has one.
Yeah, he's down to 1 axe. All right.
Mhm.
I look at him and I go, "Ha! I'd like to ask you a question."
Oh man.
That's so
Like
bad.
somebody's shooting at him or doing something while I'm taunting this foe.
Mhm. Is anyone else?
Because if not, my axe is about
Yeah.
his midsection.
Go,
I
Pine.
Did
think
anyone-
I'm going to try to get my spear to him.
Okay.
Instead of introduce it.
Okay, yeah. Where on his body do you hit him?
Well, seeing that I'm a hobbit,
Stab him in his helmet
I would
biscuits!
say somewhere. I would say somewhere around the solar plexus. That would be much of an upward thrust.
Okay. So I guess you stab him there, and it goes in, but it catches on fire because of the flames around him. So you won't get this one back. I guess unless this is
Okay.
over quickly and you're able to put the fire out somehow.
Now it's on. Finally, always gets her spears back.
Ooh, yeah.
So yeah, he probably swings at you now, Pine Leaf, with his other axe. This one connecting, but not cutting. So it's like a smack. So take 3 points of morale damage.
Okay.
I rolled for his bodyguard previously and it failed, so both of his bodyguards are down. So you have this guy surrounded, and you basically, if you all wanted to attack him, you could take him down. Fuel definitely wants to. Are you going to let him?
I have no problems with this.
I'm
Somewhere around here we've still got Madam Falcon Lady.
Yeah.
And
So-
Pine Leaf lost her spear, so there's no way we're getting out of
This
this
guy's
fight. We
going
have to
down.
fight it now.
Yeah, Carver's about
Okay.
to carve his initials in his chest.
Yeah. So how do you want him to go down?
Well, like I said, I've got 3 points. I'm going to carve my initial in his chest. 1 axe,
Okay.
2 axe. There's a big K, bloody K right across his chest. We'll have 3 axe strikes. Bam, bam, bam. His chest encaves. I use my shield to knock him down, and then I run
Keep
over.
in mind he's still on fire.
Then after I stab him, I rub my shield in the dirt to put it out.
And this whole time, Andang was acting stealthy to distract him from Carve.
Only Andang could be distracting when he's trying to be stealthy.
Yes, he could.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it
What do you
means.
think it means? Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing that the way that this ultimately pans out is that Carve comes up and goes Zoro on his chest. Meanwhile, Fuel like slashes from behind with his long sword. He gets back up and just grits through the pain. And so yeah, like it's sort of like with the stroke in the back and maybe even like the first of Carve's axe strokes, like the fires go out and like it's as if like as soon as he's dead, the fire just dissipates. But I assume you each like finish your maneuvers, and so he just like falls to his knees, like the blood starting to spurt out of his mouth. Carve, you're close enough to notice. Give me a wits check. You're close enough to notice and you're facing him. Oh, okay, yeah. So
I'm a little bit battle frenzied.
all you see is red.
Fire still.
And so yeah, like he just he's dead, and he just like falls to his knees and then like pitches off to the side.
Now he's not on fire. Continue.
And he's not on fire anymore. So you have a reunion chance if you'd like it.
Reunion chance?
So I guess like one other thing, like as soon as like the fires go out, like when he's dead, the whole cavern is just like dead silent, and like everywhere else that you notice, all of like the people wielding the axes, everyone with the feathers, I guess, their side, they're just frozen in whatever motion they were doing, and so most of the guards are just hacking, like they don't quite notice that they stopped moving and just hacked them down because they were fighting. Like a few of them maybe have been like captured, but like the entire cavern has been taken. So if you'd like a moment to regroup or something somewhere.
Taken for our side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been taken back. There is still this gaping hole, like where
I'm looking around now that boss guy is gone. I'm looking for Commander Chick. So I'm gonna throw down some.
Commander who?
The lady.
Oh.
I'm looking around for her.
Oh, Commander Chick.
Okay. Yeah, the Commander Chick. Mistress Feather Falcon or whatever her name was.
Sure.
What is that? Do I need to make a perception check or?
Well, okay. So if, I guess if you're still up there, she comes walking through the entrance. You don't need to look for her. She's there. And she like pulls off like the veil that she was wearing. And the thing that all of you notice, just because it's so freaky, is that her eyes are actually glowing white. And she walks towards you, and so let's see. So who's there? It's May, Pineleaf, Andang, and Carve. So I think Carve, you hear maybe like your uncle on your mother's side. You hear that voice. Pineleaf, you hear maybe like a goblin that you encountered, like maybe like the very first goblin that you had killed, and it just you didn't kill it properly. It was taunting you as it was dying. Andang. I'm trying to think like. Andang just hears the voice of like one of the rangers who didn't like Andang, who thought that Andang like shouldn't like some ranger who was like a bully to you because you weren't one of the Dunedain, and like he didn't understand why you were receiving training along with everyone. And May, who is someone in like your 600 years of life that just when you think about the number one person that like would get on your nerves. I actually thought of an answer.
There's so many to choose from. Golly, my music teacher.
Okay. Like we would always say, like, play it again and do it right this time.
Yes, yeah, and
Yes.
you know,
Okay.
the thing that just I had to do it exactly the way they wanted to. There was no improv, no going off on my own. It was always the same thing, over and over and over, just the way everybody played it 2,000 years ago. It was so annoying.
So each of you hear in this voice, like this, this woman, and you can see now, like she's fair. She has like a little bit of freckles. Her hair is still like wrapped up, as is the rest of her body. She's not attacking you, but in this voice, she's speaking, and you hear in this other voice. May, in particular, you know that this isn't the voice that, you recognize this as your music teacher's voice. And when you had heard her on the road when she shot down those two men, she did not have this voice then.
Right.
You hear, like, how could you be on the side of these Oathbreakers? You claim to fight for the good in Middle-earth, and yet these liars and cheats abandoned their loves.
Okay. Well,
Oh, my fault.
I'm hearing this in my music teacher's voice, so already I'm a little suspicious.
I mean, the glowing white eyes didn't do anything for you?
She's got the
Well,
Corvette effect. She trusts
yeah.
nothing.
That's right. I've been learning from the dwarf.
I'm not buying any of it.
So what does that, like, what are you, do you respond? Are you just standing there?
I don't know. What's everybody else
Comes in with
doing?
this glowing eye thing and just starts spouting off Oathbreakers. I look at her and I say, anyone who turns their back on Agmar is not an Oathbreaker in my book. They chose the better path.
She replies to you, is that truly for you to judge?
I shoot her.
Yeah, really. I mean, what's the deal? Why are we even having a debate with this chick? I mean,
You know,
seriously.
I'm tired of this. No more debate.
Wow. I'm really disappointed that you crit that. But so your arrow goes through her chest. As soon as it goes through her chest, like the glowy eyes goes away, and you just see like this like pained and surprised expression on her face as she just pitches forward dead. And as she does that, there's like a slight shimmering in the air where her body used to be standing, and you can vaguely make out like the bluish form. Like you can't make out features, but it's if ever you heard the stories of ghosts who would like wander around, this is definitely one of those wandering shades. And there's the same voice that you had been hearing. You still hear it in your head now, as like the ghost seems to be like nodding its head and stuff, saying like only the dead will bury their own, and we will be the judge of these oaths. And then this figure just sort of like disapparates away. Any final reactions?
So
You guys got suckered by ghosts.
Well, that was interesting.
that was
Now there's
interesting.
some necromancy afoot. Strange things are happening at the Hillman K Ranch. I called it Hillman K because, Corvette.
So I turned to Fuel and asked him to next episode explain this whole oath-breaking thing.
Episode.
I know it doesn't translate quite right, but it'll be in a couple minutes. You'll see.
Okay.
As her body lifeless slumps to the ground, Corvette drops to his knees and then just flops onto his back.
Okay. So I guess we'll fade away from that scene, and we'll fade back to Fornost. What we know is the fields of Fornost. What we see is just like this rundown fortress, tall, imposing. It's dark, and there's mists on these fields for miles around. And we actually see, like, coming back, like sort of like in waves, There's like a bunch of just wounded orcs, wounded men. There's like some like half-destroyed siege weapons rolling back, and then like this orc commander just like approaches dejectedly this man with like the white robes and the red cloak, with the helmet, and the orc commander just says, "Well, we failed." And the hard cut to black. And maybe we'll find out what this means next time.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Gray, for setting all that up. That was kind of crazy.
You have no idea what's in store.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Carve cut that lady a little short, but you know.
Too much to talk. Not enough action.
There you go. So anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks for more Tales of the Free Folk. But till then, thank you everyone so much.